It's time for the world's largest single-site golf tournament. We'll tell you all about it coming up next on Carolina People.
Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. We're focused on the 20th annual DuPont CoolMax World Amateur Handicap Championship, and we're visiting with Mickey McCamish, the president of Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Greg, and welcome to Golf Holiday.
Thank you so much for letting us in. It is amazing to think about all that Golf Holiday does to make not only Myrtle Beach, but the state of South Carolina and the Southeast such a strong region.
Greg, it is, and that's what makes my job so exciting, is there's so many tentacles to the golf business that one really doesn't see. It's just more than putting the tee in the ground and putting the ball on the tee and hitting the ball. There's a lot of tentacles and a lot of things that occur to make that happen.
Absolutely. It's incredible to think about seeing some of the information that Loretta provided, or the agency that helps Golf Holiday out provided to Loretta. It's amazing to see the impact that you all have had on the community. So truly, I'm just excited you let us come in this week, and really excited about the kickoff next Monday of the 20th annual.
It is. 20 years, it's gone by so quickly, and of course I was associated with DuPont before coming here and was aware of the amateur championship. And gosh, arriving here in '94, the time has gone by just so quickly, and to think that we're now at the 20th is just unbelievable.
It is, Mickey. Real quick, for viewers who may not have seen you on many other shows or seen you in interviews or spent time with you face-to-face, are you originally from the area?
No, Greg, I'm originally from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and was born in Chattanooga, went to school in Chattanooga, and went to the University of Chattanooga, and graduated from the University of Chattanooga in 1965. And gosh, that just seems like it was yesterday, too.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does, considering everything you've been doing over the last almost 40 years now. Golly, Mickey.
I know it, Greg.
What did you do immediately following graduation?
Well, following graduation at the University of Chattanooga, I went in the Navy and was looking at a naval career. I really enjoyed the Navy. I was on board destroyers in the Navy. And during those tour of duties, it took me into Vietnam. And I did receive several awards while I was in Vietnam for the service there. And I had achieved several levels of ship driving awards and levels of achievement of being able to drive a destroyer, if you would, and drive different types of ships in the Navy. But I felt to advance in the Navy, I really wanted to be what we call dual-hatted, be able to fly an airplane as well as drive a ship. Then that way you're in competition for rank, and I felt that would give me an edge over my competitors as I moved up the scale of rank, and that it would cause perhaps the board to look at me a little closer over my competitors. But unfortunately, my eyes were not quite good enough, and I did not become a pilot, so I chose to leave active duty, but I did remain in the reserves for an additional 22 years, so I had a total of 27 years of Navy experience.
Did you go straight from the Navy into DuPont?
I did. From the Navy, after leaving active duty in 1969, then I did seek employment in the private industry, and I chose the DuPont company there in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And I started as a cost analyst, analyzing the cost of producing industrial tire yarn at the Chattanooga plant there. And from Chattanooga, after about a year there, I was transferred to Beaumont, Texas, and then from Beaumont, Texas, was transferred into Wilmington, Delaware, which is, of course, is Mecca, if you would, or the headquarters of the DuPont company. And I was there for 20 years in Wilmington, Delaware. So I had a total of 25 years service with the DuPont company.
What was that like growing up in Tennessee, spending so much time there, and obviously being back there, launching your career with DuPont in '69, being there in Tennessee, and then spending 20 years in Delaware? Those are pretty different communities.
It really was, but it was exciting also, and that's what I liked about it. I really believe in, if you broaden yourself, that sort of exposure into the different communities, a different environment, that diversity is just so important. And what it did is it helped me as an individual to grow. It helped me to mature, and I learned a lot from that experience, and I'm very thankful for the DuPont Company and the Navy for the opportunities that it afforded me.
Absolutely, Mickey. Well, now, your position within DuPont, were you able to be involved in sports events or sports activities?
I was. My last assignment within DuPont, I was director of sports programs within DuPont. And within that responsibility, I had the LPGA Championship, which is one of the 4 majors on the LPGA Tour. And then I also had responsibility for the DuPont golf professionals and the tennis professionals. And this was all on the grounds of the world's largest country club, which was the DuPont Country Club. And at that time, we had 11,000 members.
Oh, come on.
That belonged to the DuPont Country Club. And that was my first introduction into sports management, if you were. And it's from that point, then, that I was recruited away by Cecil Brandon and Bob LeCompte to come and chair the Senior Tour Championship in Myrtle Beach in 1994.
So 1994 is when you made the commitment to leave DuPont formally, although DuPont had the title sponsorship role for the tournament then. So you were still kind of staying in the family.
That's exactly right. And while I was working at DuPont, I had came and visited the DuPont World Amateur because, again, being the director of sports programs, the DuPont World Amateur was very, very important to us. And one of the main reasons was because of the intermediate products that DuPont produced that were involved with golf. For example, one of the most popular things is Surlyn, which goes into the cover of the golf balls. And at that time, that was a big seller within DuPont and also within the golf market. And of course, DuPont now has expanded into not only the Surlyn, but into the fiber business, and thusly Coolmax, the product within DuPont that is now the title sponsor of the World Am.
Much like Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday's impact on this community, Mickey, I don't think folks understand the impact DuPont has, both on the golf industry as well as on so many industries all over the world. It's amazing.
That's right. It is. Both corporations, Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday and DuPont, are both global corporations. And while we recruit globally for golfers to come here to Myrtle Beach, their product lines are on a global basis, and their reach and their plants and their marketing offices are all on a global basis. So there are a lot of similarities between the two corporations.
So, Mickey, when Cecil and Bob recruited you, they recruited you for the role of overseeing the tournament, or what was your initial role here at Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday?
That's right, Greg. Whenever Cecil and Bob LeCompte recruited me, and I might add, they were pretty smart in the way that they did that. They called me in January, and I'd just fallen down on ice and snow in Delaware. So the timing was just perfect. It was a second call. The first time I'd said, well, I'm really pretty happy here, and my family's pretty happy here, although it was a borderline decision then. But then the second call came in January when we just had an ice and snowstorm, and the family was inside the house for quite a few days during the winter months. And then we, the family, decided, yes, that we would make the move to come to Myrtle Beach and enjoy all of the great weather that we do have here and the lifestyle and the quality of life that exists here. And so I was recruited to chair the Senior Tour Championship. And the first event was conducted in November of 1994, and I arrived around the 1st of March of 1994. So pretty short window of time to put on a major tournament. And of course that was at that time the richest tournament on the senior PGA Tour. The purse was just under $2 million, and also we had to go out and recruit a title sponsor, and Golf Magazine had came on initially as our first title sponsor in that tournament.
94 was the year, coming down in March. Obviously your family was coming down with you, and that was a great move. Or has your family been involved in golf, Mickey?
They have been. They have, from the standpoint of Chad, our son, has been a volunteer, even carrying a standard during several of the golf tournaments, and enjoyed every moment of it. And Carol, my wife, as a volunteer, not only for the Senior Tour Championship, but also the LPGA event that was at Waukesha East, and she was heavily involved in that, but primarily in a volunteer role. So it has been a family family happening together over the years.
That's great. That's great, particularly when they're in a volunteer role and you're out there, because they know you're working like heck, arriving in March and trying to put the tournament on in November. Obviously, a very successful tournament. What about Golf Holiday? Can you just share with the viewers who may not be familiar, both with the impact we talked about opening up, as well as just the practical side of Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday? What does that mean?
Sure. Craig, Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday started in 1967. Myrtle Beach at that time was primarily a Memorial Day to Labor Day beach vacation destination. And then come Labor Day, basically all of the hotels, all of the businesses really shut down. And then they would come and reopen the next May. And so therefore you had all that investment just sitting idle and not producing. So what happened was the business leaders came together and they looked for a way to expand the business, to build a shoulder season business. And at that time, in addition to the accommodations, there was only 7 golf courses. But they decided, because of the weather, the great fall weather that we have, the great spring weather that we have, and the fact that synergy-wise, the business of golf and the business of hotels, they would really, really mesh together. When hotel rates were high, the golf course rates would generally be at a lower level. And whenever the golf course rates were high, well, the hotel rates would be at a lower level. So they would really work together and form a business called the golf package business. So they pooled their monies together in a cooperative arrangement. Here you have these business competitors sitting around a table together, pooling their money and working in a cooperative manner. And they pooled $43,000 at that time.
In 67?
In 1967. And our budget now is $7.5 million. But in 1967, they pooled $43,000. And the belief was that the business pie that would result from the advertising that they did on a national basis would benefit all of them. It would be too much business that no one individual business could handle, but that they would all benefit from it. Mm-hmm. And so the rest is history. And Golf Holiday has grown over the years to now just under 80 accommodations, and we have 101 golf courses that are now members of Golf Holiday.
Golly, it has grown dramatically. You said in 67 there were 7 golf courses, and now 101.
That's 101 that belong to Golf Holiday. And actually in our area there's just under 120 golf courses. And of those golf courses, 117 are accessible to the public. There's really only 3 private golf courses here in our area. But there's 101 golf courses that are really members of Golf Holiday and that are involved in the golf resort business.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mickey, there's obviously a lot more to Golf Holiday than Golf Holidays, as you've laid out, and there's some exciting aspects of some of the legislative issues that you all have gotten active with. What are some examples? We've just got a couple of minutes, but if you could share a couple of prime examples of issues that you all have gotten active in.
Sure. Golf Holiday primarily was funded in the very early years by member dues. And if you stop and think about it, each golfer that we bring in here, actually they do more than sleep in a hotel room and play golf. They dine at restaurants. They buy cups of coffee at the 7-Eleven. They spend money in entertainment. They spend money in a variety of ways. So there's a lot of businesses that benefit from that golfer that we bring in here. So in addition to not only the member dues, the one element that really represents all of the business is the government. Mm-hmm. So a direction that I've taken our corporation is to involve partnerships, financial partnerships, and government is one of those. Our funding now is about $1 million from government, and it's risen to that level since 1997. And the main reason is just the fact that our direct economic impact is over $700 million, but we generate almost $70 million in taxes that government benefits from. So it's only fair that they participate as a marketing partner with us. That's just one example of how government has benefited. And we know also that we have travel partners, like the airlines, for example. It's important that we bring the golfers here just as affordable and as easy as possible. So air service, affordable, direct air service is very, very important to us. 32% of our golfers fly in, and that represents about 50% of the airport traffic. So having an air service that's direct, that's affordable, that goes into destinations where we know there is an interest, and it's demonstrated by the marketing that we do and the inquiries that are received from different areas of the country, we know there's an interest in coming to Myrtle Beach. So what we do is to go out and recruit the airline to help bring those people here. So it's a business success for the airline, and it's a business success for us. It's a win-win for both.
Win-win is the word. Mickey, if you could encapsulate you took on the role as president of Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday in 1997. Is that right?
That's
correct.
correct.
When you think about the last 6 years, are there any accomplishments in particular of which you're most proud?
Greg, I think that probably, we've got a great staff of people, and forming the staff and doing a little bit of reorganization, fine-tuning the organization into a very, very productive organization. And what that has done is that has enabled us really to expand and go into marketing areas that Golf Holiday had not been in before, and to really be more productive. And the dollars that we spend, about 91 cents of each dollar as a result of that, goes back into marketing. And we're a nonprofit, and that's really important. There's very few nonprofits that can say that, of 91 cents on the dollar going back into the purpose. And it's from the staff that we have and the hard-working folks that we have here that enable us to do that. I think the other thing is just the fact that we have increased the awareness of the importance of Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday, and certainly your participation here today. That really affords us the opportunity to educate and to show the economic impact that the golf industry really has on our local economy and what it does tax-wise, because if we didn't bring these golfers in here and we didn't generate these taxes, then as a resident here in Horry County or Georgetown County, then our taxes would be much higher. And sometimes we haven't done a very good job of doing that. And I think another thing is just creating the marketing partnerships with the airlines, with the governments, and with the other businesses here in our area.
You heard Mickey McCamish use a lot of key words there: education, economics, partnerships. Those are all words that have been embedded in Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday since the mid-'60s and are embedded as they go into the future. And the 20th annual Cool Max, an incredible amateur championship coming up. It's unbelievable. Mickey, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Greg. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being here.
Definitely. Stay tuned to Bill Golden coming up next on Carolina People.
Good morning. Welcome back to Carolina People. This morning we're at Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. We're focused on the 20th annual DuPont Cool Max World Amateur Handicap Championship, and we're visiting with Bill Golden. Bill, good morning.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Thanks for hosting us.
Anytime. This is great. We're really excited.
Incredible opportunity in all your activities, both as Vice President and Director of Marketing for Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday, as well as being an active volunteer and communicator for the tournament for so many years. It's an amazing commitment.
It's been great. It's been a wonderful experience for me, and I'm really happy and proud and lucky, very lucky.
Lucky's the word. Bill, real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, I'm not. I'm originally from Stamford, Connecticut. I was born and raised in Stamford, Connecticut, and went to school just outside Philadelphia at Villanova, and moved here about almost 7 years ago now.
Okay. And what prompted your move to Myrtle Beach? What had you been doing prior to that?
I was working at Golf Digest magazine, which had offices in Connecticut and New York, and I was sharing time there. And part of my responsibilities included the DuPont World Amateur at that time, running it at the time. Golf Digest ran it for Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday. So of course I got to know everybody down here very well. And one snowy afternoon, I received a call from Cecil Brandon, reminding me that there's always a door open down here. And we had a couple of talks, and sure enough, my wife and I moved down.
And it was the weather that both Cecil and the other gentleman, Bill, had utilized, or Bob Lacan had utilized on Mickey as well, taking advantage of this cold weather to call you guys when it was beautiful down here.
They know we're suckers up there in the Northeast.
Absolutely. Can you describe for us, Mickey talked about it a little bit, but exactly how the tournament began and who organized it?
Sure. Back 20 years ago, as you said, Paul Himmelsbach, who, of course, here local with On the Green, and Marvin Arnsdorf, who was with Golf Digest at the time, were trying to create an idea to promote Myrtle Beach as a vibrant destination, as well as fill a hole there right leading up into Labor Day in September, which is traditionally a slow time. So they created a concept of a tournament, but a tournament for the everyday golfer. Mm-hmm. And not only a tournament, but to create activities and things to do at night and create a party atmosphere. And voila, here we are 20 years later, and it certainly was a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Bill, what role now does Golf Holiday serve throughout the tournament?
Well, we own the event, and now we have exclusive or manage the event entirely, whereas Golf Digest in past years used to manage it for Golf Holiday. When I came down here, we created a tournament staff and an event staff and brought in some additional people so that we could manage the event ourselves here. So everything that has to do with the World Amateur, whether it be marketing or operations, all funnels here through Golf Holiday.
Okay. What was your first job when you arrived at Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday, Bill?
I was tasked to create a kind of a division, an events division of sorts. We knew we were going to take the event in-house here in Myrtle Beach, and we had to build the staff out over a course of a year. And it's an enormous undertaking. It's over a $2 million budget, and it's a significant undertaking. So we needed experienced people and qualified people to take it over. So that's what we accomplished.
In Golf Holiday, there's a lot more to promote. It promotes the region. It does so much to promote the region.
No question. Because when we talk golf here, it's not just golf. We're talking entertainment and restaurants and nightlife and all the activities and all the benefits of traveling here on a vacation, whether it's with your family or with your golfing pals or your spouse. So it's an all-encompassing effort.
And Bill, has the relationship been good with other groups like the Myrtle Beach Area Hospitality Association, Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce?
Absolutely. We all have our niches. Where we're going out after the golf audience, the chambers, reaching the beach audience, and certainly there's overlap there. And there are certain opportunities or times where we do marketing programs cooperatively. So we kind of work hand in hand. So it's a nice relationship there.
Good. What kind of investment does Golf Holiday make each year promoting the area?
It's significant. Our investment on Golf Holiday, our budget's just over $5 million. And when you include the tournaments in there, it increases over about $7.5 million. So that's not all in pure marketing, but that's all the investment that goes into making everything happen here with the tournaments and creating all the branding and all the marketing efforts for Golf Holiday.
What are some of the marketing avenues you all use to help promote both the tournaments and the area itself?
Sure. It's a couple. Certainly, print media is a big one. Golf Digest, Golf Magazine. There's a variety of publications that we target because that is our customer, that avid golfer that travels. Golf Channel is really a productive source for us. We utilize the Golf Channel, not only the broadcast, but also their internet site, which is very productive for us. So anything that talks specifically to that avid golfer, because that's the person who comes here, avid golfer who plays 75 times a year. We know their age, we know where they live, so it's anything that communicates to that golfer is something we're participating in.
Bill, the tournament kicks off in a week from today. Obviously, folks will be coming in all weekend, highlighting, signing up or registering on Sunday. Incredible to think about. How many folks are you expecting this year?
We'll be just shy of 4,000.
Okay.
4,000. Of course, they're bringing their friends and family with them, so the total number of people here are going to be well over 10,000. So it's a tremendous impact to the area.
What do you think has contributed to the longevity and success of this event? 20 years now, Bill.
There's a couple things. First, the area, Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach is the only destination that can host an event like this. Others have tried and they failed, unfortunately. But it's the cooperation, it's the number of golf courses, the hotels, the attraction. Secondly, the format. Golfers like you and I can come in and play and win, and that's unusual. And even if we play poorly, we have a great time at night because the world of golf is here in Myrtle Beach and all the activities that happen at the convention center. So it's a magical formula.
How about we've got a couple of minutes, Bill, some of the other tournaments that are hosted by Golf Holiday year-round?
Certainly the Palmetto has been a great success, a high school tournament here that's growing enormously. We hosted over Easter weekend, which is a slow time for the golf courses and the accommodations that are off the ocean. And that's tremendous because we're impacting kids who have not been here before mostly. They're bringing their families, their grandparents over the holiday weekend. Veterans Classic's been a real successful event in the end of May, as well as the FDNY 9/11 Memorial that we've hosted here for 2 years, where we bring in about 1,000 firefighters in May. So we try to use these events as certainly as promotional tools and angles, but to bring business here when we need it the most.
Absolutely,
that's really important.
Absolutely, Bill. Can you share with the viewers some of your memorable experiences being involved with the tournament, both on the Golf Digest side and now on the Myrtle Beach Golf Holiday side over the years?
Sure. I've been with this event, in one capacity or another since 1991, so I guess it'll be my 10th year. And there's so many great memories, so many things, both at Golf Digest and here. What I recall the most, or what I will remember the most, are the great people that we work with. And I've been very lucky and blessed to be with some great people. Bob LeCompte, of course, Mickey, Cecil, Steve, Bob Mazzoni, some of the folks from the years back at Golf Digest. And it's really been great for me professionally and personally. And I think, the event means so much, and that's what I take away from it. It's a lot of memories.
That's great. That's great. It means so much. And how about your favorite part of the tournament week?
I think, when there's so much that goes into this event, and so much that people don't realize in terms of work that goes into it. But when you walk down when you're on staff and you walk down to the floor on Monday night and you see everything in motion, you see the thousands of people coming in with happy faces, and you see the scoreboards lit up, and you see all the exhibitors, conducting business. It's very gratifying to see it all come together finally. There's so much that goes into it, and once you see all the moving parts, hopefully working in order as they usually do, it's really, really satisfying.
You heard him say it a week from today. It's seeing the motions moving together, seeing it all come together. Amazing kickoff. We're visiting with Bill Golden, the Vice President and Director of Marketing. Bill, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Carolina People coming up next. We want to thank Mickey McCamish and Bill Golden for making today's Carolina People so special.